want to know how to transfer money to your Chinese suppliers with zero risks? Stick around until the end and you'll never get scammed again. Picture this. You found an awesome supplier in China, but now you're faced with the hassle of transferring them money securely and efficiently. When dealing with Chinese suppliers, the risks are real, but so are the solutions. Today, I'll walk you through the most secure methods to pay a Chinese supplier. Let's dive right in. What you've got to understand first is payment term. Let's start by defining payment terms. A payment term is a document that has all the details of how and when the payment is supposed to be made. In standard payment terms, you pay 30% deposit to launch production and the remaining 70% after production is complete, but before shipment. Paying your deposit is different from paying the remaining balance, so let's break down the different ways you can pay your deposit. Depending on the amount, and especially if you're dealing with a supplier or a factory for the first time and you haven't really established a trust relationship with them, I recommend paying 30% deposit with PayPal to protect yourself. For say things don't work out with your current order or supplier, you can always contact PayPal for a refund. If you want to take this a step further, what you're going to do is pay your supplier with PayPal but with a credit card through PayPal. So if PayPal customer service fails to resolve your issue, you can always reach out to your bank to file a dispute. But what if you're in a country that doesn't allow US dollars bank accounts or payments via PayPal? What are the alternatives? Well, another way you can do this is pay through Western Union. But remember, always make sure to transfer the money to the company's official account and never to personal accounts to avoid scams. One thing you have to keep in mind while paying with these methods is that they come with high service fees. For PayPal, it is about 4 to 6% in service fees, and for Western Union, it is about 0.65 till $3.76 for every $100 you send, or even a lot depending on the currency you're sending from and to. That is why it is best to use them for small payments. And you have to know that in a lot of cases, suppliers will expect you to pay for these expenses. But still, as a new seller, PayPal and Western Union are still your safest bet. Consider it like buying an insurance for those first few orders. Moving forward in the future, when you establish a relationship with your supplier, you can split those fees or use the methods we are going to talk about in a few. Remember, Chinese culture is all about haggling, so even if they say no at first, always insist. So now that you have paid your deposit, your production has started. Once your production is complete, once you've done your quality inspection and you're 100% sure of what you're receiving, that's when you pay your supplier 70%. Our first stop on this payment journey is wire transfer, which can also be referred to as telegraphic transfer or bank transfer. Wire transfer is when you send your money from your bank account to your supplier's bank account. It is the most favored way amongst suppliers and importers in China. It is recommended for larger transactions especially. No need to go to the bank, you can do it online unless it's for a large payment that the bank needs verification for. When you're sending wire transfers, make sure to double check your supplier's bank information. You'll need to check the SWIFT code, account number, their name and address, their bank address, the description of the goods, and the currency you are trading with. Most suppliers will insist on USD, especially if you're buying from Alibaba, but some will accept pounds or euros. Keep in mind that there is limited transaction visibility with this method. So when you fill out the paperwork, take your time with it and please make sure it's done correctly with no typo errors. Otherwise, you might risk losing your money. Next up, we have letters of credit. Letters of credit, LC, offer the highest level of protection. They are a guarantee that the buyer will pay, and if the buyer is unable to make the payment, the bank will pay on his behalf. However, the downside of them is that they are complex and expensive to arrange. They require excessive paperwork, thus they're only recommended for larger orders. That's actually one of the reasons why many Chinese suppliers refuse to trade under LC. Another one is that the most of these suppliers are small manufacturers, and they often rely on upfront deposits for their business needs. Now, let's talk about Alibaba Trade Assurance. The Alibaba Trade Assurance is a payment and protection service created by Alibaba to protect international buyers. What's going to happen is that your supplier will create a trade assurance order on Alibaba and then provide you with the link to transfer the funds. This is a good option if you're buying from Alibaba. In case of any issues, you can always contact customer service to file a dispute. However, requests can take an awfully long time, and in the end, there is no real guarantee that you'll come up with a favorable outcome. Not only that, but you need to pay a fee of 2% or more in services to Alibaba. Now, let's uncover the best way, in my opinion, to pay your Chinese suppliers, the EJET method. If you're looking for a seamless and risk-free payment method, I suggest to find a reliable sourcing company like EJET, especially when you're dealing with multiple suppliers. EJET Sourcing has been operating in the sourcing industry since 2006. We have acquired a strong connection and deep knowledge of the local supplier market. When you have to pay to 5 to 10 different suppliers, it can be a big headache and cause problems. When you work with EJET, you just transfer the complete payment to us into one account and we'll help you pay your suppliers individually. We bear all risks on your behalf. Also, we have the location advantage. Because we are right here in China, we can easily check if your suppliers are trustworthy. Not only that, we can also negotiate better prices for you. If you're curious to know more about our services, make sure to watch these 2 videos. Last but not least, if you're exploring your options, you should also consider Payoneer. Having a Payoneer account is like having a flexible bank account that helps you receive and send money in different currencies and in different countries with a very low cost, around 0.5%. Unfortunately, this is not popular among Chinese suppliers, and it has a cap of $10,000 per transfer. So to sum it up, 30% deposit PayPal or Western Union, and the remaining 70% with wire transfer, LT, Alibaba Trade Assurance, Payoneer, or best of all, a trusted sourcing company like EJET Sourcing. Alright guys, that's a wrap on today's video. I hope that you found the information that we shared helpful, and if you did, make sure to hit the like button, share with others, and follow us for more related content. This is EJET, China Sourcing Expert. If you have any business inquiry or general question related to doing business in China, don't hesitate to send me a DM or leave a comment down below. Bye, stay safe.